Well, there we are. We're live. All right. I'm going to bring up Sean and Jamil from Black Viking, and we're going to try this again. Now, we're live on StreamYard, but let's go to my page, the MD Beer Guy page on Instagram, and see if we can get it connected there. What do you think? Want to do that?
So hold on.
Hold on. Be patient with us, people. We're trying something new. So
MD Beer Guy. MD Beer Guy, my guy.
All right, we're gonna end this bad. We're gonna end this. We gotta go. Everybody go to the MD Beer Guy page. Come on, babies. Go away. Go away. Discard. All right. I'm gonna go to my page. This is quality entertainment that's happening right now. People don't realize the gravity of the situation. How famous this is. People are gonna be like, "Damn, that was the greatest thing I ever saw." All right. People don't realize what's happening. It's history in the making. All
That's
right.
right.
All right. Live. All right. I'm gonna. Well, we got a lot of followers, so this thing got to work for us, right? All right.
Man.
So, you want to invite me, or I invite you?
Trying to invite me.
All
Trying to invite Black Viking Brewing.
All right. Let's see. No, I don't need a title. Let's go away. Go away. God damn. No, I don't need a title. What's this? Where's the ad? I get confused. Cancel. Audience schedule. Yeah, that's fine. I don't see an ad people on there, my thing. Add me.
You want me to try and add you?
Yeah,
Okay.
add me.
All right. Hold on. We'll try this again.
I'm live now. Here we go. I'm going to invite you on mine, see what happens. Oh,
Hold up.
invite. There you go. I just invited you.
You just sent me an invite?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Bear with us, people. We're experimenting.
Okay, hold on.
I'm live now.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm on your live right now.
All right.
All right, look. So I'm going to hit request to join.
Okay, do it.
Jamil, you on your phone or you on your laptop?
I'm on my laptop.
Hey, if you can, jump on your phone and see if you can request Rob as well from your personal page, so we'll be on both.
Okay, do it.
Did it come through, Rob?
I accepted. This is wild, right? People are like going, what the hell are these crazy asses doing? You get all kinds of people on here, too. They like, it says you're unable to join.
Oh, it's doing. I think it's got to be something with this StreamYard and Instagram or something.
This is wild, right? People are like going, what the hell are these crazy
Oh, hold on. It says you accepted the request.
Yeah. So we holy crap, look at that. Now we got all kinds of angles, though. Jamil's like, what is going on? Jamil's at the bottom this week.
Nothing like watching boomers figure out technology.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Instagram on this side, StreamYard on this side. It's probably going to be I'm turning down the volume on mine. Ooh, getting a lot of feedback there. That's better. How's that?
It's good over here.
Good? Jamil, you good?
I'm good.
All right, perfect. All right. I don't know how this is going to work, everybody, but it's fun trying, right? We're all about the technology. Anyway, welcome. I don't even know which way to look. I'll have to look this way. Welcome, everybody, to our IG StreamYard simulcast on Facebook and on MD Beer Guy's IG account. Tonight we got the guys from Black Viking Brewery on with us. We're going to chat up a little bit about their brewery. Sean and Jamil. Jamil's at the bottom of your screen. Sean's up in the corner. He's on the bottom on Instagram, I think. and they're one of the featured breweries this weekend at the Cheers to the Culture event, an event I'm very excited and honored to be able to host. So it's Saturday 2 to 5. So we're gonna have Joyhound, our man Alfred's coming in, you guys, Patuxent, Urban Garden, and I'm gonna forget somebody because I always do. Sega is not coming. They they don't have any beer till next week, so it was like, there's no point. And
Right.
who's the fifth? Liquid Intrusion. Andrew and Jasmine. I forgot. I knew I was gonna forget somebody. So what's happening, guys?
Hey, look, in the comments, people are saying that it's a crazy echo and we need headphones. So I just put in my AirPods for my phone.
I don't have any headphones with me.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just gonna turn down my thing. I'm gonna turn down my sound. Does that make it any better?
I mean, it's fine for me. It's just the other people that are listening. They said it's an echo.
Uh-oh. Well,
Gabby, what's up, Gabby? Hey, I tried that milk ice cream. Best, worst decision of my life. So good. Ate the whole pint in like half hour, maybe hour.
all right. Do we want to just go straight Instagram then?
It's whatever you want to do, Rob. You the Maryland beer guy.
Well, let's keep trying. If people complain, I don't know how it sounds on Facebook either. So, is it getting a little better if I'm further away? Ask.
Hey, is it better if Rob backs up some? Oh, hey, Buzz Blogger said Viking comes out the other side and feeds back to Maryland beer guy Mike. No, it's not any better, he said.
All right.
So
right.
We need to scrap one and just go with one.
Let's scrap Instagram for now.
Okay.
For the first little bit, and why don't we come back to Instagram?
I'm with that.
Want to do that? All right. Yeah. All right. We're going off Instagram, people. Peace. Go to the Whitey's Liquors page on Facebook, and then we're going to come back in probably half an hour or so. Yeah, Finn from Poor Baltimore says it sounds good on Facebook. So it's probably just the back feed on the on Instagram.
All right, IG, we'll be back. Buzz Blogger say good luck. Appreciate you.
Thanks for watching.
Right.
All right. Very good. And now. Say end now, so we're ending that thing now. All right. Anyway, that was a fun little experiment.
We tried it, man.
You can't not try. So give us the lowdown on Black Viking. History, everything.
Jamil, you want to jump it off, or you want me to go first? How you want to do this?
I'll start because I'll probably have to leave in like 10 minutes for my tennis match here.
Ooh.
So Black Viking is the brainchild of my wife and I kind of 4 years ago or 5 years ago at this point, hiking in Canada. And we were at a brewery where the head brewer was a female. And we were talking more or less just kind of how in America, the craft beer scene was dominated by, white hipster millennial generation. And you didn't see too much diversity. At this point, I had been home brewing for 5 or 6 years and just kept that going. And she was like, hey, you love cold weather. Your mom's side of the family's from Minnesota. Like, why not just call it a Black Viking? Like, there's no other Black Vikings out there. It was original. And so that's what we decided. Fast forward, 4 years, 5 years. And Coach Taylor used to coach me in high school. And I knew he was doing this beer review show on Facebook. And I hit him up and I was like, hey, man, I brew beer. Let me bring you some styles. And from there, we just had good synergy. And, he likes doing all the things that I don't necessarily like doing. So we hooked up and now you're drinking Zinga beer and we're pushing it out and it's being very, very well received.
Yeah, soon. I mean, we're having great success with it at the store. I mean, I just re-upped another order. Who's Coach Taylor?
That's me. That's me, man. He hit me up like, "Hey, coach, I brew beer." I'm like, "Coach, man, you got to be like 30 now, man. That was a long time ago." He was like, "Nah, you're forever coach. I brew beer." So, of course, me being me, I'm like, "Man, you don't brew beer. Get out of here, man." He's like, "No, I brew beer. I'll bring some to your house tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh, shoot. Maybe he does brew beer," because he was pretty confident. And he brought me a bunch of different styles. He brought me a bunch of different bottles of beer. So I was happy about that. And I cracked open a couple and I was like, oh, this guy really can brew beer. He's good, right? And this honey ginger beer really jumped out. I had never, I mean, like I've drank a lot of beer, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, I never tasted anything like this. And so I hit him back up like, yo, Jamil, do you have any more bottles of that honey ginger? And he did. So he brought me a few more bottles later in the week. And I took it to people who are in the beer industry who like sell beer for a living. I took
Right.
it to people who don't really drink beer. And I took it to people who like craft beer, like some of my buddies. And the consensus was just like, yo, this beer is really, really good. And yeah, so we decided to start the company Black Viking Brewing and release the Zinger beer as our flagship. And like both of you already said, it's been doing really, really well so far.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing about this beer is super approachable for everybody. Like my wife just tried it, and the other night we were hanging around, and she was like, "I need something pretty light, but with a lot of flavor." And I was like, "Well, I have the Black Viking beer here in the fridge. You want to try it?" And she loves it. She thought it was great. She was like, "It's just exactly perfect what I want. Like it's light, but it's good. It's pretty flavorful." So Jamil, these are all your recipes, yes? All the Black
Yeah.
Viking recipes are your recipes.
Yes.
So what else you got in the tank? Was that a
Uh,
secret?
so the beers that probably the best beer I've brewed, in my opinion, was the maple cinnamon saison.
Ooh,
Um,
you
so
go for the crazy flavors. I love it.
yeah, I like doing things that I can't go out and buy. You know, why try to brew beer that, you know, already breweries are making and they make it a hell of a lot better than I do. So I tried to focus on flavors either I grew up with or some of my friends have grown up with, but it's not represented currently in craft beer. So I try to do things that, you know, is new, it's approachable, what I call craft adjacent, um, so that people who don't normally associate as craft beer drinkers aren't afraid to try it.
Right.
Um, and then, you know, from there it's drinkable, hopefully. At least when I homebrew, it's always a an experiment first. So I actually just dumped a batch last weekend of trying to do a hazy IPA. Just it didn't come out, so I'll have to start from scratch.
But like something like that, right, Jamil? Like if you go, because you guys are at Oliver, right?
Yeah,
Is
we
that who's
contracted out
contract
all of
brewing
it.
you guys?
Hmm.
If you say you have that recipe and you go to Oliver and you're like, look, I want to try this. Do they help you? Would they help you write that recipe? Or
Yeah, so kind of what I have found works best. You know, the people over at Oliver are fantastic. The head brewer, Chris, and then the associate brewer Chris, also same name. Um,
well, the
they're
associate brewer Chris is Saga, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
so they're really good at looking at my recipe, and I tell them like, "Hey, this is the flavor profile I got out of it." I'll bring them a bottle, and then they'll say, "All right, what are you looking for?" And then give suggestions. What I try to do is to bring them a beer that the flavors are what I want, and then it's our job to work with them, and where his expertise is being able to scale it up from my, you know, 5 or 10 gallons
Right.
at home to, you know, 20 beer barrels or 40 beer barrels. And then on professional equipment, um you know, temperature and certain things are way more easily controlled. So when
Right.
looking to how I want the beer to finish, you know, that professional equipment really does a great job on getting it there. Whereas on my homebrew equipment, like I have to be like really on the money. I use a propane burner. I don't use like a Grainfather or anything that's electric.
This beer came out terrific with that scale up. So that's pretty. That has to be exciting when you write the recipe, when you guys have this recipe, and you're like, well, we really like it on this little system. Can it go to the bigger system, and are we going to like it just as much? And then when it comes out and maybe it's better. I don't know. Do you think it's a little bit better on the big system, or you still like the homebrew version?
I mean, to me, I like the homebrew version a little bit more. But for, what I can do on a homebrew system at scale or compared to doing it at scale is very different. So like,
right.
When taking into consideration the things when you're trying to scale the beer at 10 gallons, like I don't have to worry about peeling, 10 ounces of fresh ginger at the store. But doing that to scale, having 400 and some pounds of freshly peeled ginger is not really a feasible task. So with certain things, I think on the homebrew one, the ginger comes through kind of more pronounced throughout the whole drink. So from the beginning to the end, the ginger is there. It might be a little bit muted compared to what is mass produced, but the whole point was to have a ginger forward pale ale or kind of ale that's still very flavorful and very light. And that's exactly what came out. So that's
see, for me, I'm not a ginger person, so for me this is perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So if it was too much ginger, I'd be like, man, I don't know. But like this, it's just the right amount. Coach Taylor, now I'm going to call you Coach now that I know the secret to that. Which one do you prefer, this one or that one, the old school, the OG?
I like them both, man. I like them both. Like Jamil said on the homebrew one, the ginger is a little bit more pronounced. It's not overpowering by any means. It's still really good, but to scale it up, kind of like as you alluded to earlier, and still get it so right, to me, I'm just like, I'm amazed, at Oliver's expertise, at the genius of Jamil in creating something so balanced, in my opinion, because I love drinking different types of beer, but I love a beer that's balanced in whatever style it is. It just needs to be balanced. And this beer is perfectly balanced, in my opinion. Yeah, so I like them both, man. I don't really have a preference.
See, I'm like you. I like a lot of different beers, and I've never had a beer with this flavor profile. I don't think that I was like, wow, this is really, for first time out of the box, it's super sessionable, it's approachable. Like, I'm sure when you've done a couple of events, and when you go, do you get the same reaction where people are like, holy crap, this is like terrific?
Yeah, I mean, we did a tasting at the Tower Club last Wednesday, and folks are like, ginger and honey, I don't know about that. Is it a ginger ale? Is it like a super zingy ginger beer type thing, like the Caribbean ones? And I'm like, no, it's a really drinkable beer. Just try it. And we would pour the 4 ounces for them, and they were like, oh my God, I've never had anything like this before. And you know what? Look, Jonathan Lore said this beer slaps. That's what I'm talking about, Jonathan.
He's my salesman for Chesapeake. And the other day we cracked one open. He's like, I want to try that beer, and he was like, damn, this beer is fire.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
I'm excited because I feel like you guys in Urban Garden, like what you're doing with flavors is pretty out of the box. Like hers is like Chamois, that Chamois beer.
With the chamomile tea in there. Yes.
Yeah, like those are pretty out of the box flavors. And I think the accessibility and the approachability of those beers really draw people in. And then like being Black owned, I feel like you're getting another whole audience. And what I love about talking to you guys in this whole series that we've done is because I've done this for a little bit of time. And I feel like on a lot of levels, a lot of people are just like, yeah, it's another beer, but you guys are like totally fresh, totally bringing a new vibe to it, and I think that's what the industry needs. I think it needs that attitude, that excitement, these kind of approachable, super cool beers, out of the box thinking beers. So I salute you guys for this stuff. It's great.
Appreciate that, Rob, for sure, man.
Thank you.
And you know what I mean? And I'm excited to have you guys in the shop talking about it and meeting some people. And everybody's doing something a little bit different. And so it's exciting for me. It's really exciting for me. I like this. I like the new wave of energy you guys are bringing to it.
Yeah,
So
thank you, man. And thank you for giving us a shot, man, because, a lot of people can talk about the craft beer industry needs more diversity. It needs more of this, it needs more of that. But you actually are putting your money where your mouth is, literally, right? Like you're giving us a shot in your shop to show that the beer will sell and it'll pull through. So we really appreciate you doing that because you didn't have to do that, man.
I mean, the thing is, I've seen in the last, and I'm going to say probably the last 3 to 5 years, I'll say, I see a lot more interest in people of color in craft, right? We get a lot more people of color coming in and buying craft. So it's really sort of an untapped market because they go to tap rooms and they probably don't see people that look like them. So it's not like an experience they really are cool. It's like not as comfortable as they would like it to be. Let's put it that way. So having this happen, like the guys at Patuxent do a great job with welcoming people in. You guys obviously are doing a lot of IG stuff and like people are starting to pay attention to what's happening. It's cool, and I think it's great, and I'm hoping it takes off. And there should be more. I mean, what's the percentage of Black-owned breweries in this country?
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And women Black-owned is probably like shit. It's probably a 25th of a percent or something. Ridiculous. You know what I mean? So it's cool. I'm excited.
Appreciate it.
I'm excited, and like I know you guys have a lot of stuff coming up. Do you guys have plans for eventually a brick and mortar?
Maybe if it makes sense.
When real estate prices come down a little bit.
So
that would help.
Rob, you just said it. There's about 9,000 breweries in the country, right? Approximately 75 Black-owned, right? Not one of those Black-owned breweries has national distribution. Our goal is to become the first Black-owned nationally distributed beer brand. And so that's why it was very important for our flagship to be something that was very approachable, very universal, and could really appeal to a large population, a lot of the community. Like the craft beer drinking community, I love it. I love being a part of it. But that's a small segment of the overall beer drinking population, right? So we said exactly. So we said we want to appeal to the larger audience, but also give folks who are into craft beer something that they can be proud of as well.
Yeah. Have you ever met Elisa Mercado?
She's coming on our show next month for Women's History Month.
Really?
Yeah.
She's terrific. Yeah, I've had her on before. She's awesome. Her beers are great. Her lagers are great. She just does a couple lagers. I think she just released another one. I don't remember the style, but I think I saw that. She's great. And she's another one who's like really spearheading that. And she's doing a lot with sort of I think it's Stony Brook in Connecticut, perhaps. Okay. That's doing scholarships for people of color to get into the brewing industry.
Dope.
Like she's like backed up by I think Two Roads is part of that collective, and a couple other Connecticut breweries. So it's exciting times, and it's long overdue.
Right.
So how did you guys really get into it? Like, Jamia, you were just home brewing. How did you get into it, Sean? Just like you're a beer drinker, but then you were like tried a beer that you were like, aside from Jamil's, that really blew you away, and you're like, I got to go all craft here?
Right. Well, maybe like 6-7 years ago, no, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I known I wanted to get into the beer game in some type of tangible way, right? And so like 4 or 5 years ago, I bought homebrew equipment. I brewed a couple batches of beer. Turned out pretty good, but I hated the process, right? I don't really like cooking. I was terrible at chemistry. So I'm like, this ain't really going to work for me. So I put my stuff on the shelf, and then I started doing the beer review show, like Jamil said, the BYOB show on Facebook Live. And we would get anywhere from 200 to 1,500 views every Thursday, right? And so I'm like, okay, obviously there's a demand for this, right? And so within that time frame that I was doing the BYOB show, people, especially a lot of Black people, would be in a store or in a restaurant, and they would text me a picture of beer and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Right? And I could tell sometimes the picture is like them off in the corner, like taking this picture, right? Because they were like looking for someone to give them that approval to say, like, yeah, you could try this beer. This is what a Belgian triple is versus a hazy IPA versus a fruited sour.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, so obviously the thirst for that knowledge is there. And so I'm like, eventually I want to do some type of beer. I want to have some type of product, you know? And had talked to a couple people, didn't pan out, got close to partnering with someone, but then the pandemic hit. And then so when Jamil came and was like, yo, coach, I got this idea. Like Jamil's one of my favorite players of all time because he played really hard, very mature, and he's a good player. So I'm just like, okay, let's see what you got. This makes a lot of sense to me. So if you enjoy brewing the beer and I enjoy building the community, then if we put them together, then we could be a pretty formidable partnership. And that's how it's turned out so far.
Yeah, you guys are like, you have a really good like presence online and stuff, which is what you need. Do you have any archived YouTube shows?
So they're on Facebook Live, or if you go to the BYOB show on Facebook, like I have a page and stuff, and yeah, all the shows. So the ooh and all that. If you look at my first BYOB show, I'm just like, hey everybody, welcome to the BYOB show. My name is Sean Taylor, and I went back and watched it. I was like, that was dry, man. And so back when I used to play basketball in the 90s, right? Me and most of my friends that I grew up with all played basketball in high school and college, right? And so my one friend, Sebastian Erminier, who played pro over in Paris for like 10 years, 6'6", 230, all muscle dude, right? And we grew up playing together. We're playing AAU, and I would always throw him like lobs, and he would go dunk the hell out of it, right? So eventually people started like catching on because he would point, right? Like points to the rim. Right. And so he was like, yo, ST, from now I'm not going to point. I'm just going to go like, ooh, ooh, like that, right? So you see this big dude coming down, and you hear this, ooh, ooh, and people were like looking around like, what the hell? But I knew to throw it, and then he would go dunk it. And so that kind of became one of our like calling cards. And I was like, you know what? How do I break the ice? Because my first show, I was nervous. And so the second show, I just was like that. And then it was just people started to call on.
I'm going to watch this. When we get off this thing and off the Instagram, whatever, I'm going to watch some of those. Those sound money.
Yeah, man. So it was a good time.
How many of those episodes did you do? Did you get tired of doing them? Like, I've done a lot of like beer shows, and after a while, you're like, yeah, you got to you have a lot of energy. So like for you, I'm sure it was pretty easy.
Well, you know, the thing that I've always said, Rob, so no, I didn't get tired of doing them. The pandemic kind of put a pause on them because people would come to my house and do them, right? So I'd have my friends come over, we sit next to each other, and we do the show, right? The pandemic hit, then we couldn't do that. And I wasn't really familiar with like going live with people and stuff. But I really enjoy building community. Like that's what I do naturally. I'm a people person. I like building relationships. And we have 12 tenets for Black Viking. The first tenet is community. And I always say, like, with a beer review show, mine wasn't necessarily a beer review show. It was a show that highlighted beer, but it more so was about the people. Because no one goes to a bar to talk about the Strata hops or the Matuka hops or whatever. Like, some people do that, but you going to talk about, like, the birth of a child or a new job or you moved, or maybe someone got divorced or what, like you're going to talk about your life. The beer is just there to facilitate the conversations and those connections. And so that was always my angle. I'm like, we're not just going to talk about beer. Like, yeah, we'll feature the beer and talk about it for the segment that is really looking for that. But really, we're talking more so about the people and letting people get to know one another. And I found that there was people really enjoyed that. So when we started Black Viking, I was like, all right, well, we're going to shut down the BYOB show, like pretty much officially, take it over to Instagram where there's more of a community, rebranded as Black Viking TV. That's what we did. And now 30 some episodes later, couple that with the 20 or 25 or 30 BYOB episodes I've done. So maybe like 60 or 70 episodes altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one cool thing about, which is what I've always liked about the craft beer, is that everybody has a story, right?
Exactly.
Like you guys have this background, and the Urban Garden folks did, and Patuxent, they all have a background, and that's really the interesting part of it. And there's always a connection in my story to your story, which creates the bond, right? So, I mean, beer is just like you say. Beer is just a facilitator for bringing out those bonds. You know what I mean? And that's really it's a unifying thing.
Exactly.
Like everybody hanging out, having a beer. Like this, everybody's chill. Like nobody I mean, they can have too many and become an asshole, obviously. But for the most part, people are pretty chill. Like you go into tap rooms and most people are pretty chill. So that's what I've always loved about this community.
Yeah.
So and I like hearing people's stories. It's fun.
Yeah, I always say your story is your superpower, man. Like, especially when it comes to the beer game is oversaturated. We know that, right? There's 1,000,001 beers. So the way that you differentiate yourself and use your superpower is your story, is that authenticity.
You gotta be excited about it, right?
Exactly.
You don't want to be like, yeah, this is my beer.
Right.
Like
exactly.
People are gonna be like, oh, that's interesting. Anything about it? Well, yeah, it's got ginger in it. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like that. You got to be like out there. You got to be excited. You gotta get people to be like, damn, I want to try that beer. Like,
that's right.
Everybody watching this right now, and when we go into Instagram in a little bit, I want them to all come whiteys and be like, damn, I got to try that Black Viking beer. I saw you guys talking about we're going to come out Saturday and try it.
That's it.
And that's what makes it move. That's what makes the community thrive. People bringing their stories. Do you get a lot of feedback from people like that you haven't seen in a while to be like, send your beer out to wherever can we get it here? Can we get it there? My man Finn rolling in. There he is.
Hey, appreciate you, Finn.
Thanks, Finn.
My man, that's Port of Baltimore.
Hey, appreciate you.
That's my man Finn.
Appreciate you, POB. Let's go.
He'll be out on Saturday. He said he's going to come on. He does a great. I think he might have featured you, Finn. If you're still there, did you feature this as one of your labels? I think he did. He does a guess the label of Maryland beer on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was one of them this week. He's never featured one of my beers, but
man, what you doing, bro?
No, I'm just kidding. It's all love.
Hey, can't wait to meet you on Saturday, Finn. We out here.
Yeah, man. He's a good dude. He's a really good dude.
That's what's up. Man.
Yeah. So where are you going to play tennis?
I play at a bubble in Bethesda. I actually probably should go, so I'm not late and won't get yelled at by my team. But yeah, I play tennis 2 times a week. It's like my new basketball. Easier to find one other person than it is to find 9
find 4.
Yeah.
I can see that. My boss is big into pickleball, which is like a hybrid. He's huge into it. He loves it. It's like a hybrid tennis ping pong thing or something.
Yep.
I don't pay any attention to it.
Pickleball's the shit, man. I mess with pickleball.
Really?
I don't play that often, but like the times I do, because like my godfather is big into it. Easier on the knees than basketball, obviously. And I have fun every time, and then we go drink beer. So I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
Maybe
Most
maybe there
people
had to be a
play
Black
football.
Viking team.
Hey, look, I'm with that. We
Let's
got a lot
go.
of things coming Black Viking.
There you go. Let's go. We'll start our own team.
Yeah, I'm with that. Let's do it.
That'll be fun.
Hell yeah.
And I've never even played, but I'm sure it can't be that hard.
It's easy.
All right. Well, you should get going, man. You don't want to miss out on the one person in your group. You're gonna be playing against the wall.
No.
Like back in the day.
I'll be back for the Instagram if that's the case.
Yeah, we got to go to Instagram and cheer on some folks. Have them come join us. I'm almost out of beer anyway, so we're gonna switch over formats here in a couple of minutes. But Jamil, pleasure to meet you, man.
Hey, pleasure meeting you. Looking forward to meeting you on Saturday in person.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. I'm pretty stoked for this event.
Me too.
I think it's good. It's good to get it out in the community. I want people to come by, chat you guys up, learn your stories. Patuxent will be there. Alfred will be there. Monty and Stefan are going to be there. Andrew and Jasmine are going to be there. I think Andrew and Jasmine are bringing up some stuff we might put on draft for a little taste because
Let's go.
I haven't had any of their beer either, but I've heard it's killer. I'm pretty sure Gene's coming. Maybe Dave. I don't know.
I think it's Davey. Davey's going to come.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah, I think it's Davey.
And then you guys have the thing I saw you post on Instagram today at National Harbor.
Yeah, that's next Thursday.
So if you guys are watching and you can't make it out to us on Saturday, National Harbor next week.
Yeah, and we're actually going on draft there soon too. So
nice.
We're sending a keg over to them later this week.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
That's very cool.
Yeah, we're excited, man. We moving this thing.
Yeah, I mean, so everybody, pretty much the lineup at Whitey's is the lineup at National Harbor, yes?
Exactly.
All right, cool. Yeah, that'll be great, man. I'm excited for you guys. That's a good spot.
Yeah, it is, man. And you asked earlier too about do people hit us up saying like, can we get this beer here or there? We get that all the time. But not to put one person over another one. One of my close friends is actually works for the Minnesota Vikings. He's head of college scouting down there. And I gave him some of the beer a few weeks ago and he loved it. So he's like, yo, I need cases of this for my staff out here in Minnesota. So, we definitely want to get it out there because that could be a natural collaboration. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Some good breweries out with our friends in Minnesota. Too cold for me, man, though.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Rob. I can't mess with it, bro.
You're gonna have to have Jamil brew up the imperial version of this beer.
Right.
You're gonna have to go to like 10%.
Right. Hey, straight up.
To get this thing to work.
Yeah. Way too cold, man.
For sure. Where did you play? Did you play college ball?
Yeah, so I played locally at Magruder High School and St. John's at Prospect Hall for 1 year.
Okay.
And then I played at Belmont Abbey College right outside of Charlotte, which is right near where Steph Curry grew up. Right. So I actually got to see him because every year they would have the state AAU tournament at Belmont Abbey's gym. Right. So I'm seeing like the 12-year-old, 13-year-old Steph Curry just raining threes on people. And I didn't know who he was at the time, right? So my teammates and I are in there watching like, who is this little kid? Because he was small at the time, right?
Right.
Like one of the smaller 12-year-olds. And he's just raining threes. He was like, man, this kid is incredible. And then we see his dad come in like, a few minutes later, like, oh, okay, it must be Del Curry's son. Because, I mean, he was incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Good times.
What year was that?
So I was at Belmont Abbey from 99 to 03.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I can't remember exactly when. I feel like Steph's in his early 30s. So, yeah, he's like 6-7 years younger than me.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that sounds about right age-wise. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. You want to switch over to IG?
Man, let's do it. I got another beer, too. Shout out to my boy Elliot from Soul Mega.
Ooh, how's that stuff?
It's good, man. It's a great, clean, pale ale, man. Delicious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who cans their stuff?
I feel like
I think Amani said she might bring them. Just to hang.
Soul Mega?
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, I haven't talked to Elliot in a little minute. Calvert Brewing.
Okay, that's where PBC does theirs too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's really close to where I live. Actually, it's like 2 minutes from my house.
Okay.
But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think
that.
she had mentioned she might bring them by, and I was like, I don't care if they don't have any beer. I mean, they just want to chat people up and get their name out there. I'm all about it.
Right. Yeah, and I saw Elliot probably like 2 weeks ago, and we didn't talk about it strangely enough. But yeah, Elliot's a great dude. They make good beer. I think they may have just come out. I feel like they just came out with a beer like last week, and then they also have another beer coming out next week because they're coming on Black Viking TV, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, and then they release the beer right after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and they're DC, right?
Yeah. Yep. Them and Sankofa and Urban Garden, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so she had talked about maybe bringing them. I'd love to hear their story. I mean, it's like everybody. It's like you guys have basically formed a collective.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's like, I asked Andrew this last week about the collective, and I was just like, I didn't touch a nerve, but I think I was on to something. Let's put it that way. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what about you guys? Why don't we just all get together and like invest in a brewery? Like there's a place that in Rhode Island in Narragansett, that's how they used to brew, right? They used to, there was a place called the Guild, so there'd be 4 or 5 breweries in that spot, and that's where they would all brew. So I don't know if that's what's happening, but that would be super cool if like everybody had like a spot, the collective.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're definitely onto something with that concept. And I
feel like it's so expensive too to get property, especially in this area. I mean, this area is ridiculous money-wise. Right. So, like, if you could all get together and have your own brick and mortar, and just have like one big tap room, I think that would be such a cool idea, community center-wise.
Yeah,
because you and I both know that like what craft breweries do in neighborhoods is they bring a lot of people in and they lift the neighborhood up.
Exactly.
I mean, that's one of the major benefits of having a craft brewery in your area.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, Rob. And at Black Viking, we've been approached by some folks to talk about doing just that.
Right.
But we have to make sure that it makes sense for us.
Right.
And especially with the collective, and I love everyone in the collective, right? But you have 6 or 7 different companies, right? So that's a lot of personalities to manage, right? And
but you're a coach, man. That's your job.
Hey, look, I was Jamil's coach, right? And look, even Jamil and I don't agree all the time, as with any partnership, right? And so with the collective, we've had ups and downs and bumps and bruises like is with any relationship. And I'm very transparent about that because I don't want people to think that everything is just all sweet all the time. It never is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a good group of people who I think have a shared vision, right? And so I think the first step in that, before we can talk about a brick or mortar or anything, is to do a multi-beer brand collab, which...
Oh, that'd be killer.
We have some ideas for that. So,
that'd be killer.
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas for that. And Gene and I were together earlier, along with Courtney from Black Brew Movement. And we talked about it a little bit, but we got some ideas about that. So
yeah, I reached out to Black Brew Movement, and I think they're out of town this weekend. That's why they couldn't make it. Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, because I asked them if they wanted to come set up and just chat people up. I mean, just get the word what they're doing out. So yeah, they were out of town. So there were a couple other people that were out of town that wanted to come by.
Right.
Hoppy Black Lady, do you know her?
I think I've seen her on IG, but I don't know her personally.
Yeah. She was like, she was going to tough life. She was going to drink bourbon in Kentucky. I was like, well, I guess, If you got to do something, that might as well be what you do.
Hey, look, that's like going to see the Red Sox up in Boston, huh, man? You got to
That's
do
right.
that.
So you gotta go. You gotta go where it counts. You see all this go back behind me. This is my like trophy room for. This is actually doubled as many things in my life. This room. It's like a sunroom, and
Okay.
so we just like now it's just like the home studio because the Wi-Fi is a lot better here than at work, and the sound is actually pretty good. So I got my beer fridge over here.
I see that.
Got
It's
my beer
nice.
fridge. I got all my memorabilia around here. Got my wife's great uncle's picture in front of us. He used to play for the Red Sox back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah, so yes,
damn.
this is the space. I should make it a little nicer. It's got my bike here that doubles as a clothes rack.
Hey, that's all right though. It looks nice though. It videos very well.
Yeah, it does. It's a pretty good space. All right, do we want to go to IG for a bit?
Let's do it.
All right, folks. Thanks everybody on watching this on the Whitey's page. We are going to go to IG with Black Viking, and I guess we'll go to the Maryland Beer Guy site, and we'll do that. That works out best. All right, everybody. Thank you. Join us over on IG, and we're going to continue the conversation. Thank you, my man. I'll talk to you in like 5.
Hey, appreciate you, Rob. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. I love it. Thank you. All right, we're going to go over to IG, but a couple things that because we had all that confusion early in the show. We have a big March coming up, like huge. We got 2 collabs coming out, with one with Ten Ike and a return of a beer that we did with our friends over at Idiom. That's going to be coming back. So our release for that is the first weekend of March, it looks like. Following weekend, we're doing beer and donuts with our friends at Oliver's. They have a new collab with the folks down in Severna Park. So that's on the 12th. On the 19th, we have our annual farm brewery festival with live music from my man Ryan Keith. So we're excited about that. And at the end of the month, I'm going to post it probably at some point this week. And we're going to have our friends from McClintock in. And I don't know if you guys remember last year, but we did the head shaving thing virtually, where Braden was up in McClintock, and he shaved his head for St. Baldrick's. I'm going to shave my head for St. Baldrick's. You can keep the Hogan comments to it. We're going to invite Governor Hogan because everybody says I'm his doppelganger, so I am going to invite him. But yeah, so that's on the 26th of March. So we'll put that out. So that's going to be a good time. We're going to get some live music. I'm going to shave my head. Braden's going to shave his head. We want to get a couple more people to come out and shave their head for a good cause. We're going to have gin sampling, gin drinks. So you can watch us and cheer us on. So anyway, we have a lot coming up in March. So I'm excited for all that, plus a bunch of virtual stuff. Like I have probably 3 or 4 with our friends at Pariah coming on, our friends at Wico are coming on, Steam Theory is coming on from Dallas. So we got a bunch of stuff happening in March. It's a big month. So thanks for joining us. We're going to head over to IG now, and I'll see you guys over in that format in a couple minutes. Cool. See you.